So you all know I have a very bright, colourful, vibrant, abstract collection of items. But I want to show you some of the pieces that I consider to be much more along the line of classic. Hello, 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 and the warmest welcome to today's video. For those of you who haven't seen my face before, hi, I'm Nick, glad to have you here. For those who have seen my face before, thank you so much for joining me again. Hope you're enjoying my videos. I put out videos roughly 3 times a week on a range of different topics, anywhere from fashion, slightly more personal topics. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, then please do head down, hit subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. I love chatting with you all. I'm all about living life loud, and what that means to me is being your authentic self, being proud to be you, and just celebrating who you are. Celebrate yourself, and of course, celebrating others. So, we're going to talk about kind of what I deem to be some of the more classic pieces in my collections. And of course, everyone has a different definition of what this means. For me, I'm thinking more along the lines of very timeless, could almost exist in anybody's wardrobe. They kind of transcend trend and various styles, and they, eras. They're harder to date because they aren't so reminiscent of a very particular era. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm going with it. I have a lot of pieces that are just bright and bold. Excuse the kitty. Hey baby, you having a little look? Having a little look? Because I've moved a pair of shoes, she's now sat in the space that those shoes normally occupy. So, what was I saying? Yeah, I have a lot of pieces that are very bright and very vibrant. And I have what I would refer to as a lot of classic silhouettes, but I often have them in kind of more funky variations. But these are the items that I think are just great staples almost. And like I said, very much will stand the test of time. But before I get into that, bag of the day, I have been using my Longchamp Pliage. This is my custom Pliage that I unboxed about a month ago, I want to say. Do you want to get down? Sorry about that. I unboxed this about a month ago. So this is black nylon with all of the magenta accents. I love this. I think it's a really beautiful version, and I love the glazing. So fabulous, that hot pink glazing. It's all very subtle, but it's all very impactful still. Love it. This is great. Also, who else loves stationery? I've been on a stationery hype today. Just went out and bought all new stationery to try and get myself a little bit more organised. Look how fun this all is. This is from Paper Chase. Look how fun to get myself more organised. Also, just ate a whole tub of potato salad. Nothing else, just potato salad. So, being fully honest with you in terms of what's going on here. So, just ate a full tub of potato salad. Anyway, let's get into some of the more classic pieces. And I don't think this is everything. I probably have a few more. But let's go with them. So, the first one I see as being a real classic, a real staple. This is the Burberry trench, and I have documented fairly well that I don't love this Burberry trench, but I think it cannot be denied that this is a forever style. It's a timeless style. It's very sophisticated. I still like the fact that I have mine in a slightly more interesting colour, but it is very much a forever style. And it's just a very, very classic coat. I think it's iconic, well known, and I still find this colour to be one that I think you could find in almost anybody's wardrobe. I think this would suit most people. I think it's great. Okay, next up, and a bag style that I absolutely love, and I think this is just such a timeless version of it. I think that the colour is really, really sophisticated and really, really timeless, and I've been using this bag a lot more actually. And it is this Mulberry Bayswater in this lovely shade of sort of antique pink, this almost rose pink. I've accessorized it with a new scarf, so I have put on this scarf which I bought from Furla, which I think is a beautiful, beautiful addition to this particular bag. This has almost a kind of champagne gold hardware. Just a very, very beautiful version of the Bayswater. The Bayswater is incredibly classic to begin with, and a very timeless style. I know many people who own them or have owned them. And I do think that this is a really beautiful, simple, sophisticated, elegant example of this particular bag. Let's go to a shoe. And this is a shoe that I just desperately wanted to own. I was originally going to buy them in white, and then I actually decided that the black was the most appropriate version. It's the most timeless version of this particular shoe. I am, of course, talking about the Christian Louboutin Soquet. Now, some people might argue these aren't classics because the sky-high heel, the 120, is not as popular as it once was. Platforms and 120 non-platforms were very popular probably about 5 or so years ago, maybe even a little bit further back. They have lost their popularity. So you might argue this isn't a classic. Maybe something like the Pigalle or an 85mm Kate might be considered more appropriate, more classic. But for me, this is very much a classic in my collection. Simple, sophisticated, elegant, absolutely hideous to walk in. That's well documented. I'm not the first person to say it. I won't be the last. But it is a beautiful, beautiful shoe. Gorgeous. And I don't do red, but for this particular shoe, I will wear red. Love it. Well, I'll wear a shoe with a red sole. I won't wear red as an outfit, but I will wear a shoe with a red sole. So my Louboutin Soquet, another classic. A bag that I just think is absolutely timeless, and a brand that I think does a lot of timeless pieces, is Seline. Probably less so the pieces that have the logos, because when they change the logo, unfortunately, it dates the piece and it locks it into a particular era or a particular creative director. I think a lot of pieces have suffered from that. A lot of brands suffer from that in general. But I own this Seline Doctor bag, which I just think is such an elegant and timeless design. It's an absolutely beautiful, beautiful bag. Now, I don't use this a huge amount because this isn't a colour that I wear very much, but it is a gorgeous, timeless, sophisticated bag. This can be used for work, it can be used for travel, it can be used for day, whatever it is you want to use it for. This bag can do it. This bag can do it incredibly successfully, incredibly elegantly. It's got so much capacity in it. You can keep so much with this particular bag. Love the details of it. It's really, really beautiful, really beautiful. I'm happy to own it because that is the odd occasion that I grab for it. Doesn't happen very often, but there is the odd time, and I always get a lot of compliments on it because I think it is just that very understated but still very luxurious looking piece. And like I said, this I think can last a lifetime. I think you could wear this in any era and it won't look out of place, and you know, it won't look the most trendy, but it certainly won't look completely outdated, in my opinion. Now, I'm a big believer that even sparkles can still be very, very timeless. And an example I have is it's a piece I actually found yesterday. So these are from June. These are the June Scepters, and I have them in navy here. I also have a version of these, the previous version, in black and silver. Loved them. These are unworn. They still have the stickers on them. Look how gorgeous these particular shoes are. They are absolutely stunning. June do really, really nice shoes. I used to buy a lot of June shoes. June and Kurt Geiger were always my go-to, and for formals, June was always my go-to. And I mean, look how beautiful. They have this quilted interior. You won't be able to see it. They've got some detailing on the sole. A really, really pretty, pretty shoe. And the shape of this is just so sophisticated. These with black tie looks can be absolutely amazing. I wore a version of these to my graduation back in 2017, and I wore the black version, and I wore them with a navy blue suit and a dark tie, and they just were that little pop, but they were still a very sophisticated, timeless shape. The colour was still quite muted in certain lights. They really picked up the sparkle. In other lights, they looked much more dull, so you didn't realise they were quite as sparkly as they are. Just a really beautiful shoe, so definitely, definitely, you can add a little bit of sparkle and still be timeless. 3 more pieces, let's do another bag. And this is a Louis Vuitton bag. And this is the Noé. So I have I think this is the Noé GM or the Grand Noé or something. It's a vintage Noé from 1994. I don't feel like this looks like a really old bag. It helps with the fact that they've brought epi leather back in certain pieces. So those of us with vintage pieces, people aren't able to date them in the same way because, of course, if you know that a certain line was discontinued or they didn't make it in a specific material from a certain point in time, of course, people will be able to say that's an older piece. However, even before that, it didn't stop me from using it because I still think it's an absolutely great bag. Mine is in great condition. And I think the shape, the bucket bag shape, is quite a timeless one. The leather, the epi leather is pretty much indestructible. The color is this lovely shade of blue, but I think that is still a very classic, timeless color. I wouldn't want this in hot pink. I wouldn't want this in bright yellow or bright green or orange. It's just not a bag style that I think lends itself. I think it lends itself to being a bit more understated, a bit more subtle. So I think the fact that I've got it in this great blue, fantastic. I know that you could get it in yellow. You were able to get it in red. I think there was yellow, there was blue, there might have even been a green, there was black. But actually I think the blue is a great pop while still being super duper timeless. It's a great piece. Love it. Final two, and this coat is one that I love every time I wear it. On a hanger, maybe not so much. I do jazz it up, but oh, I love this coat. Love this coat. So this is from a brand, Hawes & Curtis. And look how gorgeous this checked coat is with this beautiful kind of purple collar, this gorgeous purple interior. This is so, so beautiful. I absolutely love it. And I've owned this coat for, gosh, we are going on 7 or 8 years now, I want to say. Yeah, 7 or 8 years, I would say. And I just think it's absolutely fabulous. Now, how do I tend to wear this? I actually tend to wear this with a little pop underneath. So I tend to wear it with a pink jumper. I've got this great pink jumper. I'll insert the mod shot. However, I have worn this with all black underneath and it works really, really nicely because then this is a really standout piece with the check and this green and, like I said, the kind of the more sort of maroony purple collar, but it's still such a timeless design. The length, this is a really nice length. Great piece. Hawes & Curtis do fabulous tailoring. Owned a number of their suits over the years, owned a number of their jackets, owned things like cufflinks, ties. Beautiful, always a go-to for me. One of my first stops if I'm ever thinking about tailoring. Moss and Hawes & Curtis tend to be my go-tos whenever I'm thinking tailoring. And this coat, for what I paid for it, I want to say it was about £150, which I bought it when I was in my very, very early 20s, so that was a lot of money for me to be spending on a jacket. However, the fact that I still pull it out now, 7 or 8 years later, it still looks in fantastic condition. I think I will be wearing this for years and years and years to come. Great piece. And the last one is a bag style that I've already shown, but another variation that I have of it. It is possibly the most used bag in my collection, and it is the black mock croc Mulberry Bayswater with the gold hardware. I've accessorized mine with this pop of green just to add a little twist onto it. Again, this is so timeless. I don't think this is a bag that dates. I don't think this is a bag that you can timestamp. I know that the Bayswaters had a era that they were very, very popular and people were using them lots and lots and lots. I have 5, 6, 6. I have 6 Bayswaters myself. I use them very, very regularly and I don't feel like I'm using an out-of-date piece. Now, of course, I have variations that are a little bit bolder in nature and I wouldn't say that these fit the timeless aspect or the more classic aspect. I think I wouldn't say they're trend. I wouldn't go as far as to say that. However, I don't think that, you know, will I be pulling that out in 10, 15 years? I don't know. The bright orange, love it now. Will I still be wearing it? I don't know. And the fact that I can't predict that, or could anybody use that? I don't think everybody would want to. Whereas I think this is one of those pieces that pretty much anybody and everybody could use and enjoy, and it would work with a more conservative sense of style. It would work with a more bold sense of style. It just, like I said earlier, it transcends trend and different styles, and it just gives you lots of options. This is a very versatile bag. In the same way that I think this is a very versatile bag, but I think this one is actually more classic than this one. But just a great piece. Love it so much. Really happy to have it. If I didn't have this one, or, you know, if something happened to this one, I would replace it. I think if I were to replace it, hi baby. Hello. Hi. Okay, the cat's causing chaos. I've lost my train of thought. What was I saying? If I were to need to replace this, the only other one I would probably think about replacing it with, but no, it wouldn't do the same thing. I was thinking I would maybe replace it with the mock snakeskin. But I think this just works better. I wouldn't want the pebbled leather in all black. I love the snakeskin, the mock snakeskin, but I just think the mock croc is such a great balance. So yeah, I would replace it with another mock croc. I would. It's a great bag. Love it. So there we have it, everyone. Those are some more classic pieces from a not so classic collection. Let me know what you think. Would love to hear from you. Thank you so much as always for watching. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care, everyone. Bye now.